Welcome, everyone, to episode 97 of 1 Hour, 1 Decision. I am Chris.
And I am Tom.
And we take 60 minutes and play a random game on Xbox Game Pass and decide how serious is Serious Sam?
Or is he not serious at all?
That's right. No, he's definitely not. This episode, we're going to be talking about Serious Sam 4 by Croteam. Croteam made this game, and this game came out back in December of 2021. As usual, I played this on the PC. It was very large, I would say, 48.7 gigabytes on the PC. Tom, what about you?
I got to save all of those gigabytes because I played it on the cloud. Which, it's not available to download onto the Xbox One. You have to play it on the cloud. But if you were to play this on the Series X or the Series S, you'd still be saving gigabytes. It's only 29.7 on those.
Oh, okay. Not bad. I'm glad that you got to play it on your Xbox One.
Me too.
That's a cool idea, cool option, and definitely everyone's got to check that out. But what kind of game is this, Tom?
Very easy. This is a first-person shooter.
That it is. It is very much a first-person shooter, and that is also what I wrote down as my kind of game. And what about that game?
You only used 3 letters.
I did. You're right. I just typed in FPS for my notes.
I could have read that as frames per second.
You know what? But that wouldn't be a game or a type of game.
No, it wouldn't. Unless the game was running so poorly that it was a slideshow.
Yeah. Yes, it was just a PowerPoint deck of someone's playthrough. That would be really bad. But we got to get into that game loop, Tom. What is this game loop?
A little bit more going on here. Murder hordes of alien invaders to advance the plot and save the Earth.
I think I was pretty efficient on both my type of game and game loop. I just said shoot everything in your way and collect stuff.
Yes. If everything is hordes of alien invaders, and collecting stuff is your way of saying advancing the plot and saving the Earth, we wrote the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely. We are in sync in that way. So
yes. 2/4 of a boy band.
2/4. Oh yeah, the 90s. Anyway, what do we like about this game? Late 90s going in. I don't know. It doesn't matter at this point.
I think I got the numbers wrong. It's fine.
But what about this game did we like, Tom?
Well, you can tell I'm in a humorous mood right now, and that's because this game is pretty darn funny. I enjoyed the humor. It's got it's everywhere. It's in the dialogue. It's got great one-liners. And just generally the plot of the game is just so absurd. It's like as far from serious as you could get while making a game.
It's definitely a misnomer by calling this Serious Sam. But it's okay. Because, you're right. There was so much ridiculousness going on in this. I mean, even the character, like the enemy models are ridiculous too. It's just a random mishmash of enemy types, I want to say. I feel like when they first created this game, because this came out, like the original game came out way back when. I think this was during our college years that Serious Sam came out. And it was just nonsense. Like these guys, headless guys with the, Acme bombs in their hands running at you. Those guys are still here, and they're still screaming their way towards you. So, that's the kind of ridiculousness that you see in this game. And I agree with you that the humor was well, it's a mixed bag for me.
Well, I want to agree with you. The fast paced run and gun gameplay, like the tons of enemies, like it's like super arcadey, and like I love a good arcade shooter. Like I want it to have auto aim and tell me where to point to shoot the things.
Yeah.
You can adjust things like the gore and make it like Halloween style. They're like snap views. Like you can make this game like really easy to play, where basically you just have to hit the fire button.
Yeah,
and I appreciate that a lot.
Yeah, the accessibility for this game was actually was quite good, and I have to say, and maybe this is why it was this large of a game, but there's just tons and tons of enemies on screens at times. Like that opening sequence.
Yes.
You could see it was just like there was like every character was modeled and they were doing something. And you're just like, well, what the heck am I doing? What is going on? Because to kind of go back to the humor of it, like it starts off as like a very serious game. It seems like, right? Like you're seeing like the debris of space and like people are talking about stuff and like they're very kind of in a serious tone, and then zooms into this battlefield where it's just nonsense going on. And then you see Sam and he says all his one-liners and stuff like that. So it's pretty crazy. He's crazy.
Very much in the vein of like a Duke Nukem.
Yes. Yeah. You could say he's a ripoff. But I will also say that I thought was kind of cool was the kind of not just you have obviously your missions, but you can branch off and do optional missions while you're doing that. I thought that was kind of neat to be able to, I guess, liven things up, give yourself some more perks and power ups if you want, if you go through those optional side missions, whatnot. So, anything else you want to bring up about stuff that you liked?
I just want to point out as a closing here on my likes, I loved those character introductions.
Yeah.
Like every time you get introduced to a new, like, important character, it does like a really cool stylized introduction for them.
Right.
And then, a lot of times they'll have some kind of line that they say that's just amazing. Like I put as a note here, I have my shotgun and my faith. I'm already packed. And yes, I was like,
oh. That was the father. Yes. So your first mission is just to kind of rescue this Russian Catholic priest, I believe. So yeah, he's probably one of my favorite characters because he has these kind of quips as you progress through the game as well. So yeah, it was good. Stuff like that did make me chuckle. Also, kind of made me groan because it's like, yes,
of course,
come on.
No, the jokes are dad jokes for sure. Yeah. But we're of that age.
This is true.
That's okay.
This is true.
They know who their audience is.
Yeah, they do.
But
yeah,
sounds like we're out of good things. So maybe you want to start us off with some of the bad things, Chris. Dislikes.
Yeah. Well, for a game that's almost 50 gigs, I didn't think it looked great.
Yeah.
It didn't look great to me. I was kind of floored because I feel like the first Serious Sam for its time looked pretty decent. I could be wrong. I could be totally or maybe the original Serious Sam was like a little more stylized. I don't remember what it was. I have to go back and look at it, but I think for its time it looked fine. But this game just like did not age well. Some of the character models just like of the characters that you work with like just didn't look right. And this game came out in 2021, so like I'm gonna like give it more of a negative for that because like I feel like they could have done a little bit better on that. And oh my god, I had to say I had tons of motion sickness with this game. Tons. It was really bad for me. I had to go and use those accessibility settings. I turned on that motion sickness option. But what that does is make the game look even worse for me because it puts you in a third person mode. Oh. And so you see all like the janky animations that Sam does. And it's just awful. Like his animations are really bad, especially when you pull it out to a third person view. Like when he's doing the melee mode, it's just like, ugh, not good. Not good at all. What are some things that you didn't like there, Tom?
Well, I had troubles at the startup, and that's really a criticism of the cloud, I think, more than this game. But I did want to bring it up that I had some, connectivity issues getting my controller synced up. It didn't want to read it at first, which was annoying. And speaking of annoying, even playing on the cloud, there were like tremendous load times.
Yes. On my computer, I was like, what is going on here? Like, this game took a while to load. And I get it. That might be just because they're loading like those 5 million characters and their AI or whatever it is. But good Lord, it was really bad.
Yeah.
I was really surprised about that.
It surprised me because I was like, oh, I'm playing on the cloud. Like, this is running on Microsoft server somewhere. This should load real super fast. It doesn't.
Wrong.
He's very wrong.
Yeah.
I would have excused those load times on, the Xbox One, trying to keep up with this much stuff.
Yeah.
But knowing that it was running on somebody else's machine somewhere, I'm like, why is this taking so long to load?
Yeah. True. I have to say, Sam's voice was very grating on me. Very grating. Because like, I guess the voice actor was trying to do like a 90s action star, but like to the extreme. And and like some of the stuff he said, I was like, oh my God, just shut up, please. Just let me shoot stuff and don't say a word. But that was part of the game. Part of the game. And like I get it. I get the game is supposed to be just silly and all that stuff, but some of the I can't, like, they were just so one-dimensional, like incredibly one-dimensional. It's like I was watching, like the player models might as well have just been, that just a flat piece of paper or whatever. I don't know, whatever it is, but it was a lot of groaning while I was playing this game. I was like, what is going on? I mean, it was a little bit unbearable for me at times, but that was like one thing that's really I couldn't get past, but my outside of the motion sickness, because that was really bad. I mean, but otherwise, like, it played like a regular shooter, right? It was I played on mouse and keyboard, and it worked, and I just wish there was a button to shut everyone up, which I guess you could have if I just turned down the master volume or whatever.
Yeah, you could have muted the voice.
Something.
But then you're missing most of the game. I do want to touch on you brought it up. It does kind of just throw you in. There's no tutorial, real explanation of controls whatsoever. Which, I mean, this is the 4th entry in this series, so like, okay. But also, I just feel like just some basic stuff I appreciate, generally speaking, especially because I felt like the default settings on this game, at least on a controller, like, were not comfortable. And it made shooting a challenge for me. I just maybe
like
just
what were they doing?
The sensitivity and some of the some of the like I said, just the default settings on the thing.
I think that at least as when you have a first person shooter, you should have a section where you have to go through collaborating that, like, because I feel like that can take a lot out of someone that's like starting a game too, because if it's super sensitive and I get it, you can go to the control, like go to the menus and stuff like that, but then you're taking the person out of the game to do something that, maybe you do either beforehand or in the tutorial section or whatever it is, and then they're gone, they're off to the races and doing their thing, blowing up aliens and stuff like that. So,
but I did have to pull myself out, as you said, go and kind of keep tweaking things until I got to a comfortable place in the same way that you needed to do for the motion sickness. So I think those are kinds of things that you'd think the developers would have been aware of and should have been addressed.
I mean, this isn't their first rodeo either. This is number 4. So come on, guys. Come on, Croteam. Let's get into it.
Anything else that I'm thinking of here? I did get one-shot KOs from this like bull that charges out at you, and that frustrates me. Like I understand sometimes I just suck, but it's not fun. It's not fun to suck, you know. and at the end of the day, I'm playing this to have fun.
Right. I mean, and I played this on easy mode, so I was just like, okay, I didn't get hit by the bulls, but you know, the shot. I guess that's the other thing. And again, I get it's unrealistic, but like the shotguns had like ridiculous range. Like I was killing people from like 200-300 feet away with the double barrel shotgun. I was like, oh, okay, I guess that's how this works. So I didn't feel like I needed to use any other weapon. Like, yeah, you had a decent amount of choice with that, but yeah, I was just because like the shotgun just did so much damage. Everything else was like you had to pepper them with like a million bullets. Where I'm just like, I'll just point this at you, boom, you're dead. So
I assume some of that is definitely playing on easy because
maybe
my experience was not the same.
Okay.
I was perpetually like right on death's door like the whole time I was playing the game.
Yeah.
And I always was getting overwhelmed and needed to restart areas.
Okay.
Now I acknowledge I should have changed the difficulty, right?
Yeah.
But I'm stubborn.
Yeah.
And at no point did the game go like, "Hey pal, like maybe it's time for you to play on easy." If it had, maybe I would have taken that option.
Take that hint. Yep. Okay.
But no, I was like, no, I'm just playing on. I wasn't playing it on hard. I was just playing it on normal, you know.
And that would have been I think that would have like fit perfectly into this kind of Serious Sam theme, right? Like they could have just made fun of you and be like, hey, you're kind of being crappy right now. Why don't we take it down a peg? And then, you know, that would have been perfect. I would have laughed and I would have just moved on. You know,
if it had gone like, this game takes X number of hours to beat, but at the rate you're going, it's going to take a whole lot longer.
Yeah.
Like I would have been like, all right, you got me. Like,
I would totally, that would have been great. I would have loved that. But you know, that was opportunity missed.
Yes. Do you have any other dislikes before we move on?
Dislikes.
Other thoughts?
No, I think we covered most of them here.
Okay. I'm good on my end as well. So, Chris, how long does it take to beat this game? I know that's there somewhere.
Yeah, according to how long to beat, this game takes about 9 hours to beat.
Okay. So not at the rate I was going. It probably would have taken 30.
900 hours to beat for Tom.
Yeah.
And this game does have co-op too.
Yes.
Which is
I noticed that it had both a survival mode and a co-op mode. I think both of those could have been fun, but I don't know if you tried them, but I certainly didn't try either of them.
No, and I'm assuming when you do online or co-op mode, your buddies pick maybe one of the other wonderfully full-fleshed out characters that you come along the way.
It must be.
It must be Oscar-worthy, writing over here. But anyway, that's the point. I didn't see if this game had like cloud saves and stuff. Clearly, you can play it in the cloud, but I'm not. I'm curious, like if I played this on my PC, will I be able to pick up where I left off on the cloud and stuff like that? But it didn't really mention that in the descriptions and stuff like that on Xbox Game Pass. But Croteam can answer that for me if they'd like. But Tom,
yes,
we gotta find out. Do we want to play this game more, or
Okay. Well, I will start, and I will say.
But before we get to that, we wanted to let you know about our spectacular sponsor, Winner Winner. Winner Winner is a live arcade claw machine game available on Android and iOS, and it's 100% skill-based. Trust me, if you see me play my games, you know I'm not that great, and I still have won games on my first try. There's hundreds of prizes, even featuring gaming merch from Nintendo. Pick your prize from choices in your particular game, or bank your earnings with tickets to redeem any other prize you want from their wide selection. And for all you lovely people listening or watching our show, you can get bonus tokens on your first app token purchase. Download and create your account, then use the link in the episode's description to enter promo code DALE after you sign in. Check it out. It's clawsome.
The action and the humor are the best parts of this experience, for sure, right? It's not the graphics, it's not the load times. It's got a bunch of downfalls, but it's fun and it's fast, right? And it's funny. So I'd be interested in trying out that co-op, potentially with you, but I honestly don't think I'm going to go back to the single player. I think that this, as far as games go, is just too low a priority. It's not, I don't think it's bad. I just don't think it delivered enough for me to be like, oh man, I really want to keep going here.
Yeah.
I liked it. I liked the hour that I played went by nice and fast. I had fun doing it, even though I was stubbornly dying over and over again. But I stubbornly die over and over no matter what I'm playing. So, it's just
fair. That's fair.
How about you?
Well, Tom, there's only one video game Sam in my life, and that's Sam Fisher. So I am throwing this into the trash. Serious Sam can go straight to whatever hell that he comes from, because I am done with this game. The load times, the player, the characters and everything. I couldn't stand it. I don't know why. I couldn't stand this. I immediately uninstalled this game right after I finished the hour, because I was like, I don't need 50 gigs of this on my system. Although if it was cloud and I streamed it, maybe cooperatively, but I couldn't do this by myself. I couldn't play this game by myself, because I would need to have someone with me cooperatively to talk me off the ledge, listening to everything that they said. But
that this game puts you on.
Yes, clearly. But those are our thoughts. Let us know what you think of this game. Follow us and say hello on Twitter at TC1H1D, or shoot us an email at TC1H1D@outlook.com. Check out our next streams on Twitch at twitch.tv/1H1D. And if you're watching this podcast on YouTube, send us a comment down below. We promise to try and respond when we can. And Tom, as you know, and I know, 1H1D is part of the QTV network. And if you like gaming podcasts, be sure to check out Quit the Build, a weekly gaming news podcast. And they do all these streams now on TikTok and stuff like that. So yeah, it's fun time over there. Check out the whole lineup. Go to quitthebuild.com/network.
It would be weird if they were listening to this show and had been with us, as long as they had, and didn't like game podcasts.
They're just angry listening to gaming podcasts. This was hate listening.
Yeah, I'm going to listen to 1H1D until it's over.
Yeah.
When is it going to be over?
Well, we're just about done with this episode. But Tom, we got to find out what we're playing next, don't we?
Yes, we do. Let's drag this out as long as possible for this poor listener.
Well, poor listener, I have to tell you, our next game is not coming from the Surprise Me button, but coming from a request from a podcast pal of ours, Dave from Tales from the Backlog. He suggested that we check out Hard Space: Shipbreaker. So we're going to check that out, aren't we, Tom?
I'm ready to get hard in space and break ships.
Yes, we will do all those things and more on our next episode. So thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in, and we will catch you on the next one.
Thanks, everybody.